Okay. Yo, what's good? What's poppin', YouTube? It's your boy Mac. You know what I'm saying? Welcome. If you seeing me for the first time, let me introduce myself a little bit to you. You know what I'm saying? I am an artist known as Mac Melly. I am a podcaster. I have a podcast channel called The Internet is Fiction. And now this is my new reaction channel, Mac Reacts. And we're gonna get into some reactions today. It's a lot going on in the world, you know what I'm saying? So I figured, hey man, I watch reactions all day. Let me give it a try. Let me see what's up. Let me see what's popping out here. Cause it's a lot of bullshit that go around. Excuse me, it's a lot of bullshit that go down. And it's a lot of bullshit going on, man. These past couple of days has been really intense in the industry and just the world in general. So right now, before we get started, before I shift this thing over here, we are going to react to, it's no secret at this point, Tory Lanez, man. Tory Lanez recently has been stabbed 14 times. We all know the situation. He's incarcerated currently in California over the alleged shooting of, that woman. And yeah, man, it's some new. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Because I could sit here and ramble all day, but I just rather get into it and we gonna react like that. You know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all. I'm trying to. I ain't know it just automatically just started recording. All right, without further ado, let's get into it.
Man, what's up, everybody? It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on Tory Lanez getting stabbed inside a prison and the man who did it. May 12th, 2025.
It could cost you up to $8,000 to fix a transmission, or up to $10,000 to.
These ads be blowing me on YouTube, man. I miss the old days, man. I'm an old head. I miss the golden days of YouTube where there's no damn ads. Just get to the video, bro.
Located north of Los Angeles lies the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi, California.
Okay, that's how
In
you say it. Tehachapi.
2021, the
I couldn't
prison
figure that
closed
out.
its minimum
The name of
custody
that damn prison,
facility,
Tehachapi.
meaning its 2,600 inmates were level 3 or level
2,600
4.
inmates is crazy.
These are the most dangerous levels in California State Prison, where race, gangs, and strict politics are enforced with deadly consequence. The only step above this would be the maximum security inmates housed within the security housing unit, otherwise known as the SHU.
I'm going to pause this right here, right? Because I intend on having some young followers and some followers of age. I just want y'all to take a good look at this right here where I'm posting the screen. People live here, bro. Like, this is insanity. Like, I'm going to keep it real. Yes, I understand you do the crime, you do the time and all that goodness. But, bro, just look at this, bro. Can you imagine spending your rest of your life? Look at that toilet. Look at the bed. That ain't even no damn bed, bro. They give you a cot and some cemented shit to lay on. With this is insanity, bro. With that little slit of a window, you get a little bit of crack of light. Damn, bro. Just imagine.
A disciplinary confinement reserved for the prison's most violent, whose only escape from a cell is a human dog cage. It was 7:20 in the morning when 32-year-old Daystar Peterson, who's more commonly known as the rapper
Daystar.
Tory Lanez,
Yeah,
was
Boston.
violently attacked. TMZ would originally
But
report
Boston
multiple sources,
accent is
including a
nasty
corrections
work.
officer,
Daystar.
claimed Tory was on the prison
My
yacht.
man, he said my
But an
man
updated report from a
Daystar.
representative of the California Department of Corrections would clarify Tory
Daystar.
was attacked within a housing unit. Prison staff rushed into the unit administering first aid while quickly determining Tory suffered life-threatening injuries, forcing them to call 911. Video would emerge of who's believed to be Tory Lanez landing in a life flight helicopter at Kern Medical Center in Bakersfield, California,
Damn,
an
tried to do my
hour-long
boy
drive from the
dirt.
prison. With that
Tried to
distance,
do my boy
a helicopter was
dirty.
the only form of transportation
Free
able to
Tory,
move
man.
him fast enough to save his
Exactly.
life. A message to Tory Lanez's Instagram
Okay.
account would state he'd been stabbed 14 times, 7 wounds to his.
This is OD, bro. Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. God was on that man's side, bro. God was on that man's side. Sheesh. That's crazy.
Back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he had to be placed on a breathing apparatus. Luckily, Tory was breathing on his own, and despite the pain, was talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wanted to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. Based on his wounds, it can be assumed Tory was attacked from behind, as the majority of his wounds struck his back and behind his head. Initially, no word was released as to who did it, leaving room for speculation. Because this took place in California, the only time someone is stabbed and it doesn't result in a race riot is if they are stabbed by their own race. But that isn't the case here. Compton rapper Spider Loc would post a conversation with a current inmate at Tehachapi. The man would claim Tory was on a tier full of Mexicans when a Mexican stabbed Tory. He confirmed Tory had to be
Tory, you was
from
wild for
prison,
that damn
and the
head, my
prison was
boy.
placed on
No, I love
lockdown.
you. You was wild
He'd
for
also
that.
confirmed as soon as the
That was
lockdown is
nasty
lifted,
work, my
the
man.
blacks will be seeking revenge on the Mexicans.
Glad you all right, though.
What's Gucci? What's cracking? What it do, Fod?
Shit, nothing much for real, right? This morning, brother, the Mexican out of bust on the boy Tory. You know, they airlifted him and all that, so you know, nah, that's gonna respond when we come off this shit, we're gonna respond the right way to that.
They laid the yard down?
Nah, it happened in the building.
What was it over? It was over some, what he had did he have a debt, a gambling debt or something?
Nah, nothing like that. Shit, we don't even really know, we don't even know the whole situation, you know?
So it was just like some foul play, so it's gonna be up.
Yeah, it is. For sure,
That's
it
my
was a foul
keyboard
play.
not working.
Damn, cuz. Wasn't nobody?
Oh, let me see something real quick. Why the hell is my keyboard not working? My bad, y'all. What the fuck going on?
Wasn't nobody right there with him?
I guess nobody with him. He was by himself out there. He got a whole tier full of necks. If he on a whole tier full of necks. Well, you already know, once we get on this shit, we press the play on press play.
I'm already knowing. God damn.
Tehachapi has a known reputation for being SNY, otherwise known as a special needs yard. These yards are known to house gang dropouts, snitches, sex offenders, and anyone else whose life is threatened by being in general population. But California has also recently implemented 50-50 yards, half general population, half SNY, to integrate the two prison societies. This goes against strict prison gang politics mainly for the Mexicans and whites who are allegedly forced to attack any rival or SNY inmate to essentially remove themselves from the yard until they are placed back in general population amongst the quote-unquote honorable convicts. While general population is deadly, it's controlled chaos, and SNY yards can be just as dangerous, if not worse, as the gang politics that keep things in line go out the window and violence becomes rampant. It's unclear if Tory was in fact SNY, as that comes with its own bad reputation within prison, but it's likely Tory was placed on a 50-50 yard, and his politics didn't require him to remove himself. Now, Tory's attacker would be identified as 42-year-old Santino Casio, a man with a dark, violent.
Just take a look at it. Just take a look at this dude, bro. Just take a good look at this dude, bro. He look like he ain't got nothing to lose. Look at him. 14 times, dog. This guy, he looked like he's obviously a veteran. That ain't his first go round. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's say the rest of the story, man. This is crazy. Man, has stabbed Tory 14 times. Look at this nigga.
On June 8th, 2022, a then 20-year-old Santino, who went by the name Sonny, was heard arguing with his 13-year-old girlfriend. Minutes later, she was shot in the face with a shotgun.
What?
Santino would go on the run for 2 weeks before being arrested.
20-year-old arguing with your 13-year-old girlfriend? Did I hear that correct? What be wrong with you niggas, bro? What be wrong with you? 13-year-old girlfriend, bro? Yeah, you deserve to be right where you at. You deserve to be right where you at.
His own family would testify against him in court how they heard the argument before the blast. A coroner would testify the barrel must have been 4 inches away from the girl's face before it went off. An interview from the day he was arrested would be played at trial where Santino admitted to having a relationship with the 13-year-old girl for a month before the shooting. The girl was a runaway, while Santino was on parole from the California Youth Authority for burglary. In 2004, Santino would be sentenced to life in prison for murdering 13-year-old Evelyn Candejas and 2 other attempted murders from 2 separate stabbings. While in prison, he'd be sentenced to an additional 6 years for a prison stabbing on another inmate, and in 2018, he was sentenced to an additional 2 years for possessing a knife in prison. Santino Casio was as dangerous as they come, but his conviction for murdering a 13-year-old girl he'd been dating confirms he was definitely an SNY inmate, as he'd never be allowed to walk in general population without being stabbed or killed. Why he chose to attack Tory Lanez is unknown. Many question if Tory was targeted because of his own conviction for allegedly shooting his former friend Meg Thee Stallion. The fact that he had a female victim, many would assume would be reason enough for him to be hit. But Santino's case is far worse than Tory's could ever be portrayed, and offers no motive as to why this happened. Tory Lanez is expected to survive, and it can also be expected that Santino be placed in the shoe and receive additional time in prison for this attack. But what is more time to someone who's already serving a lifetime? A superstar rapper once on top of the world, now surrounded by killers with nothing to lose because of a stupid decision that changed the entire course of his life.
Nothing to lose.
Tory is lucky to have survived this, and hopefully remains lucky enough to survive the remaining years of his 10-year prison sentence.
All right, so
now, when Tory was sentenced to prison, everybody assumed one of 2 things. One is his money, and
I'm gonna stop this. All right, we heard enough for 1090 J. Now I want to get into this. This video we about to get into now is some new evidence. So Tory's team came forth with new evidence surrounding his case. And, let's get into that.
All right, everybody. First off, my name is Caesar McDowell. I am the CEO and co-founder of Unite the People. We're a nonprofit organization that promotes social justice as well as provides affordable legal services for the underserved community here in the state of California. Today, we want to thank everybody for coming out, all of the press, all of the fans, everyone that's here today. We want to say thank you for coming. Today, we're going to hear some really, really compelling new evidence that you've never heard before. Our legal team will explain all of that to you. We will have updates on Tory Lanez, Mr. Peterson, on how he's doing. It's really sad to see the situation that he's in.
Right.
And we think it's time, enough is enough. It's time to bring the brother home.
Bring that
So
boy
with that,
home.
I would like to bring up our lead consultant,
Free
Mr. Walter
Tory.
Rogers.
Bring that brother home, man. Bring
Morning.
that brother home.
We are here today to bring to your attention some information Unite the People believes is exculpatory in Mr. Daystar Peterson's case, professionally known as Tory Lanez. Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gaston, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell.
Don't sound like a coincidence
Unite
to
the
me.
People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an appellate
hit,
brief
targeted hit.
and a written habeas corpus on his behalf. The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out, but given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover.
Word.
See this
Damn.
property on Craigslist for $4,300 a month? Well, it's been sitting empty for the last 20.
Man, that's heavy. That's crazy. Yeah, man. My thoughts on this. I feel like, man, a lot of us, right? Because you have people who love and hate Tory. I love Tory. I'm a big fan. Went to his concert, met him, shook his hand. He didn't strike me as a guy that would do this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know you can't judge somebody just off shaking their hand. Well, some of us can't. He didn't give me that energy of a man who would do this type of shit. So I always knew, and he was just too confident. I felt like no man in a right mind gonna take a situation to trial knowing they can't beat this shit, bro. Like, they just didn't make sense. You feel me? Like, he was OD confident. You know, he had suits on. He going in there, Dapper Dan. He's smiling. He chilling. And I was like, damn, when he lost, bro. But, yeah, you know, let's get back into this because new evidence is crazy.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As
Why he
such,
just
he
now
was in
coming
close
forward?
proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do.
Do he have it recorded though? Do you have that evidence recorded? Like, because anybody, I can be like, hey, I was there, man. I heard her saying such and such. Do you have? I wonder if he got it recorded. Because if he got it recorded, oh shit, boy, holy, as that nigga Ack would say. You feel me? Like, if he got that recorded, it's over. It's checkmate, bro. That's foul. And then it was like, why it take 2 years for you to feel bad for another black man being in jail? The nigga been in jail for damn near 2 years. That's 2 Christmases, birthdays missed away from his kid. Like, now you feel bad because he got stabbed up? Like, come on, bro. Fuck we be doing out here?
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody.
Sound about right.
Never even touched that gun.
Sound about
Never
right.
fired the gun.
Sound about right to me.
This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete.
Crazy.
It's just another
Out here
irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or
Facts.
was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or
Talk about
was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense? We don't know. It should have been taken.
Come on now.
Because Unite the People's
Got a
understanding
whole black
regular
man in prison,
LAPD
get a
practice
man
at a
10
crime scene
years.
like that, anybody who's there,
10
DNA is
years,
taken.
bro.
Were
All right,
you
I'm
recently
gonna end that
injured in
there.
a car accident? Look at this.
I'm gonna stop that right there, man. I'm gonna stop that right there. I heard enough. Y'all heard enough. We're gonna stop that right there. Where's my bam? I'm gonna stop that video right there. Now, I'm gonna talk to the camera real quick. I want to say something, man. Tupac once said, "When bitches get horny, niggas die." You know what I'm saying? Free Tory. You know, they got some new evidence. If this is true, that's beyond effed up. That's beyond effed up. Bodyguard, you beyond foul, my boy. I hear you with all that coming forth now, but you beyond foul for holding that information, dog. Like, real talk. Like, from like if you a black man, you definitely foul for holding that information, bro. This man almost lost his damn life up in a place that he don't even belong, and you withholding information. Come on, bro. What we doing? Like, what are we doing out here? You feel me? This shit is crazy, bro. And it's whack because when everything turns out to be what we all feel like it is, all of these people who ranting, talking crazy about him, they got all of this BS to say about Tory Lanez. That man, well, and it's like, your apology don't even matter at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't even imagine going through some shit like this and then the world just turning their back on you. They slandering, throwing your name, throwing smut on your name, throwing your name through the mud, bro. And then you didn't do it. You an innocent man. And it's like, oh, we sorry. My bad. Like Vlad. What's this buster ass got Vlad? Let me pull this up, man. This dude Vlad, bro. Let's pull up Let's pull up Vlad one time. Hold on. This man Vlad. Because he put out a statement earlier. The nerve of this dude, bro. Federal Vlad. Where can I find nah, it wasn't a short. How do I find posts, money when dudes be like posting? Cause it wasn't a short. It was just like a live post that he had put up. I can't find it, but oh, there we go. Post. Vlad TV says, here are my thoughts about Tory Lanez legal team saying that Kelsey's bodyguard has now come forward stating that he saw Kelsey fire the gun. 1, Tory had the right to say that Kelsey was the shooter on the stand. He chose not to. 2, if Kelsey was the shooter, why was Tory apologizing to her on the jail call? If this new evidence gets Tory in a appeal hearing and he's proven innocent, then I'll publicly say that I made a mistake in terms of my assessment of the situation. But until then, my original opinion stands. Tory shot Megan. Man, shut the fuck. First of all, Vlad, were you there, bro? You was there? You was present? You know that for sure? You was in the car? You was TMZ? You had a hidden camera, nigga? Come on, bro. Shut the fuck up, man. And it's dudes like this, bro. It's dudes like this. You weren't there, bro. You feel me? You wasn't there. You sound just like the rest of these idiots. That new evidence sounds accurate as hell to me. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll come on here and I'll publicly apologize for looking like a damn fool defending Tory. But until then, y'all know what it is. It's Mac Reacts, man. Free Tory, man. Fuck you talking about. We out.